everybody, it's Leslie from WeLoveJones.com. I'm a former therapist turned stay-at-home mom to two beautiful little kids, and I'm coming to you today with my monthly favorites video for the month of August. Two disclaimers. One, I broke my camera. So if you follow me on Facebook, you know I broke my camera, and the new one hasn't come in, so I picked up a cheap $25 camera from Walmart. So the audio may not be the best, and the quality may not be the best, but the video quality will improve when my new camera comes in. I happen to have broken my our very nice Nikon, so what I'm using at the moment is a Vivitar Vivicam XX14. It's a cheap $25 camera, and in the interim, for right now, I decided this was fine because this is the camera I'm going to let my son have, who he has taken a slight interest in photography, and I think he's 3 and he just likes seeing himself, his own footage, and he has, ironically, he's not the one that broke the camera. I broke it, but I had given him the Nikon before to play with because he was having fun. So this will eventually become my son's camera, and I will go back to using something nicer. So anyway, let's just jump right into our monthly favorites videos. The other disclaimer is that while none of my previous videos have ever been sponsored or in any way by anybody, including BJU Press, who is a lot of my product reviews involve BJU Press, or at least my homeschooling videos involve BJU Press. I've never actually been sponsored or in any way by anybody. I am an Amazon affiliate, which means the Amazon links that are in the description box are very much affiliate links, and so they do help me out in some small way. I've actually never made any money at it, but I am an Amazon affiliate, but just so you should know that. And two, this is the first time that I have reached out to companies for products that I was going to buy anyway, and I got replies, and I don't usually get a reply, but there were two, and I'll do those two products first, because those two products were things that I very much went out of my way to purchase. I was going to purchase these things anyway, but I took the time to reach out to companies and say, hey, can you make this available to me for free? So none of them did that. They're not sponsoring necessarily, but they did give me these products at a steep discount, so I did get them discounted, and so the first two links for these products are affiliate links for them. So anyway, let's just jump right in, and I'll like I said, the first two products I got at a steep discount, but they're products I would have bought anyway. So and I need to give you some backstory on the first item. So my son broke the very expensive Young Living Essential Oils Dewdrop Diffuser that we've been using. So before we bought the Young Living Diffuser, we were using this thing, which we hated. We bought this on Amazon, and this shape, while attractive, oops, I don't want to hurt this company's chances to sell anymore, but because I don't want to be a jerk, but this shape is not easy to open, and so it was a chore to open this thing every day and change the essential oils out. So when we bought Young Living Essential Oils and we bought the diffuser, we were happy for the most part. When we got this Dewdrop Diffuser, this is the one that's broken, because it was a little easier, not astronomically easier, but it was a little easier to take this off and change the essential oils. And we've now gotten to a point where we're diffusing pretty much something every day. I diffuse purification a lot because I have 2 dogs, 2 cats, and 2 children that are still, one that's potty training and one that is still in diapers, and that makes for some very interesting odors in my home, and so I like diffusing purification every day to deal with the funk. It's very good at deodorizing. So but then the diffuser broke, so going back to this one wasn't an option because I had gotten used to the nice one that we got from Young Living. But this thing is like $60, $70. It's like expensive. So it isn't something we could just replace on a whim. It's a purchase. So I was looking for an ultrasonic diffuser that was much cheaper, and the ultrasonic diffuser is what we chose to go with because the nebulizing kind, the price point for that is just out of our price range. And so I found this one. I picked this one because of its shape. you could see how easy it is for me to grab and change. I can easily take this off and refill the water chamber. And so this is the one we bought. This one is $20 full price, $19.99 on Amazon. The name of the company is Natrogix. I'm not sure how you say that. Natrogix. And like I said, they sent me this at a discount, so I didn't pay the full $20. And the price point is so good. I think we're gonna buy one for each room because, again, we love diffusing essential oils. And my son likes the essential oil, the like lavender, kind of a sleepy time kind of essential oil blend that helps them relax. And then we like to diffuse thieves when we're trying to avoid getting sick around the holidays. And then we like to diffuse Christmas spirit scented oil when we around Christmas time, because it just makes the house smell like Christmas, and it's cool. And so we can't wait to buy more of these. We're happy with the price point. The price point being the big difference really between this thing and the shape. This dewdrop shape, it's easier to change than the other one, but not as easy as the smaller Totem. This is called the Totem diffuser that this company makes. So I highly recommend it because of the price point and the shape, because I never paid attention to that before, but now I very much notice the shape, because if you're going to use something every day, and sometimes more than once a day, it'll go for about 6 hours before it auto shuts off. You want something that is easy to work with, because you don't want to have to dread or avoid doing it every day. So I haven't had that experience with this because it's so easy to use and work with, and it isn't as layered as the other two I showed you, and the price point is really the big selling point to me, and it works just as good. I smell the oil just as well between the $70 one and this $20 one, so to me that means it works just as good. So I'm super happy with this Natrogix essential oil diffuser. The second product, and when I do these monthly reviews, monthly favorites videos, it's usually about 6, so there are 6 this month. The next product, again, that I also got at a steep discount from the manufacturer is this HBG Dream brand, like electronic pest repellent plug-in. So, little backstory: this house must have some flaws in it because we have a lot of spiders. Like, I'm killing a spider a day, sometimes more than one spider a day. And crickets. We're getting a lot of crickets. And it's been a problem really since we've lived in this house. And we've never sprayed, even though we've always wanted to. But because we have pets and children, it's always just kind of scared us. And every time something in the news comes up, for some horrible story of some tragic event that happened as a result of spraying, I'm always like, not us, no thank you, no thank you. For example, I think in Arizona there was a Terminix contractor that sprayed, and they didn't spray correctly, or they oversprayed, or something went wrong, and the family waited like the 4 to 6 hours you're supposed to wait before you come back in the house, and their child has like their 9-year-old son has like permanent brain deficiencies now because of the exposure to the toxic chemicals that they sprayed in the house and in his room. I mean, I guess they sprayed the whole house. And so it wasn't Terminix directly, it was a Terminix contractor that had the issue. But with stuff like that, when it comes up on the news, it just makes me go, no, we're not spraying. Of course, the chances of something happening are remote, because incidences like this don't happen often, but they happen often enough for me to be like, no thank you, we will not be spraying. My reservations in trying this, and by the way, it's kind of cute. It has like a blue light when it's on. My reservations were, because it's like ultrasonic, I'm not sure how it works, but whatever frequency it shoots out sound, or whatever it does, I was afraid that my cats and my dogs would be affected by it too. Now, the manufacturer says that doesn't. So and all manufacturers say that it doesn't, obviously. They're not going to tell you, there's a serious problem. And so it took us a long time to just kind of take the plunge and make the purchase. But it's an alternative to spraying and other methods. I mean, you know how much time you can burn trying to catch a cricket to release it out to your backyard, it takes a long time sometimes to catch those little suckers. The spiders I just kill, but the crickets I tried to save and just leave them outside. Now it's been in our house for like 3 weeks now, I think, and it does say that the first few days you will see an increase of critters because they're coming out of their hidey holes. So once we got past that, I started kind of paying attention, and to me the way to know whether it worked or not is, am I still killing a spider a day? And then there are certain places in the house, like underneath the console table, the kitchen windowsill, and near the trash can, that I always see spiders and spider webs. And so when I put this up in the kitchen, those were the spots that I kind of been monitoring for the first week and first 2 weeks. And I will say, while not perfect, there was a significant reduction in pests. So to me, as far as I'm concerned, it works. So did it get rid of the problem 100%? No. But I'm not worried about my pets. I'm not worried about the toxicity of the chemicals that they would have to use to spray the house. And it's not actually killing the little critters. So I like that aspect, that it's not, I don't want to kill the spiders. I just don't want them in my house. So if it discourages them from staying in the house in the first place, then cool, because go make your nest somewhere else, little spiders and little crickets. So I'm really happy with the product. I want to say they're somewhere between $5 and $10 for either each or for like a set of like 4 or 5. I can't forget. You are supposed to put one per room, and so we don't have enough to put one per room yet, but we will in the rooms that do have it. There's like a whole set of instructions. I mean, you need to read through this, but overall I'm happy with it. These have to be pretty high up. They can't be on all of. They're more effective in rooms like the kitchen and the bathroom because the power outlet is up higher. So it's more effective the higher off the ground it is, and it's more effective in rooms that are not carpeted. So what it means is that you'll probably have to put 2 in a room that's carpeted. So anyway, other than that, I'm really happy with it. I mean, it didn't, like I said, it didn't 100% solve the problem, but it did significantly reduce it to the where I think it's worth the money. And it's worth just not, I like the ethics of the approach of using something like this, because it's ethical in the sense that you're not interfering with the health of your pets and your family, because you're not using toxic chemicals, and it's also not killing the critters, which, I just don't like spiders, so I'll kill it if it's in my way, but excuse me, but I don't want to kill them. I just don't like them. So I like that it's a kind of a more humane way to deal with it, because all it's doing is discouraging them from being in your house. It's not actually killing any of the critters. So I'm all for that. I think that's great. So yeah, give this a shot. And again, it's let me get the box. It's HBG Dream. I'll link the Amazon links to all of these down below in the description box if you're interested in giving these a shot. I like the price point. Absolutely love the price point. And my one complaint, I would say, is the shape. Sometimes the outlet on top, on a power outlet, there's 2 places to plug things in. It covers up really 2 plugs, not just one. Because it's just this bulbous area up here is kind of in the way. It does light up, so they're almost like night lights too. So there's that. That's kind of a second function, and I don't think that they meant for it to have, but I have kind of liked that there's a kind of a blue light that it emits. So yeah, give them a try. Where am I? The next thing I bought that I have really been loving and using in the month of August, and from now on, all the things that I bought with, without it being discounted, at least not discounted by the manufacturer. I collect box tops for education. If you don't know what those are, they look like this. And if you see this on a product, if you cut it out and save them, your homeschool co-op or your homeschool group that you belong to, or a school you support, like I save these for the local Catholic school in town because I'm Catholic and I like supporting them. And this is a really easy, inexpensive way to support them. And also the local homeschool group collects them for stuff that they do. And I was storing them in a Ziploc bag that was just kind of a pain to keep up with. And every so often I'd have to replace the bag because the bag would get funky and just kind of abused and crinkled and ugly. And it wasn't easy to kind of deal with it with one hand. So I wanted to buy like a children's cheap piggy bank to use as an alternative way to keep up with these and have a stable home for those little box top things that I cut out of products. I found this cute little, it says $3. I bought it at a store called Dirt Cheap. And I think I actually ended up paying like 50 cents for it. It was like nothing. And it's tin. And at the top, it's got a little slit for it. I just am so happy with this purchase. There's actually a Star Wars holiday, a toy holiday, coming up on September 1st. So if you have children who are into Star Wars, I know Target is going to have some really cool stuff that they're releasing. Hashtag Porgs. If you don't know what a Porg is, your child will tell you soon. But anyway, if you have a child that loves Star Wars, September 1st, you want to go shopping, especially at Target. I think they're going to have like a augmented reality experience on cell phones. You might want to go to the Star Wars YouTube channel to find out more. But anyway, I'm a Star Wars fan, and when I saw this little stormtrooper, I'm like, this is it. This is the solution. This is amazing. It's so cute. I think it's awesome. And I like that it fits in the pantry. It fits in the pantry perfectly, and it's roughly about as wide as a tin can of, say, a can of pasta or a can of black beans or something. So it just fits in the pantry perfectly. And when I'm, when I'm putting away groceries or I'm preparing snack bags, because usually I get these from either my children's juice, or I get it from like snacky things I bought for my children for the week. When I'm preparing snack bags, I can cut the thing out and stick it in here and stick it back in the pantry, and it's really easy and durable. So I'm really happy with my 50-cent purchase of this little stormtrooper that now lives in my pantry, and that's where I put those little box tops, because those little things like that, they need a sturdy home, or you'll just lose them and you won't use them. I'm thinking of buying another one if I can find it at this Dirt Cheap, and using it for those little Huggies points things that I collect from not Huggies, Pampers points. I don't know if you have children that are still in diapers, you know what I'm talking about. Huggies stopped doing this, but Pampers hasn't. They have like these little codes, and I've gotten so many free toys because I collect the codes and I redeem the codes, and a lot of Melissa and Doug toys I've gotten for free from using that service. But they're really, you cut them out, and sometimes I've got some in my room, some are in my daughter's room and my son's room. So I need another one of these to kind of maybe put in the living room, or one in each kid's room to slide those things in there after I've cut them off. So anyway, I recommend that as a solution. Let's see. Oh, my next monthly favorite is actually something my husband found. It's this Neosporin, but it's not normal Neosporin. It's pain, itch, and scar ointment. So my son has got a mosquito bite at the end of July, and he has been picking at that thing, just picking at that thing. He reopens it, and it bleeds, and it's just got gross, and it's scarring, and it itches. Mosquito bites itch. If you're like me, every mosquito bite just gets red and inflamed like right away. The next day is the worst because that's when you're the itchiest. My son, being 3 years old, does not have the impulse control or the willpower not to scratch, and this thing has gotten so gross, and so he has learned to take off a Band-Aid. So if you put a Band-Aid on it, he'll just take it off. But if you put some of this on first, so kudos to my husband for finding this thing. The numbing agent will prevent my son from just ripping the Band-Aid off and going to town and scratching on his mosquito bite. And his mosquito bite is like right there, so it's really accessible. And he'll like mindlessly pick at his scab at his mosquito bite, like when he's watching television or something. He'll just sit there and scratch, and he's like doesn't even realize that he's doing it. So I'm a big fan of this We will definitely always have a tube of this available because we're using so much of it. So I recommend this Neosporin pain, itch, and scar ointment. So, because it works. The next thing that we have been using a lot is, so you're probably a Melissa and Doug fan like myself, but there's a toy that we bought for my son, I think like 2, 3, maybe 4 months ago. It's been a long time, but in the month of August, my children have used it in a new way that they hadn't before, and to me, that is making this toy my favorite purchase. Even though we didn't purchase it in July or August, we purchased it months ago. I'm kind of finding a new love for this toy. So the new thing they have started to do with this toy, so let me just show you what the toy is. It's a Melissa and Doug wooden doorbell house. So the doorbell rings, and each side of this house has a doorbell. And I don't know if you can hear that, but and each door is numbered. Each door has a different shape, a different number, and in the door itself is a different color. And then there's this, on the top of this wooden house, there is a key ring and each key is numbered that corresponds to the corresponding door, and each key has its very different kind of three-dimensional shape. So I picked this toy, and we bought this at Target. I want to say it was $12, maybe $15, because one, there's spatial reasoning my son has to do to accurately put the key in the slot and turn it and unlock or lock the door. So I got it because it's got great spatial reasoning, use and practice, and one-to-one correspondence, because the keys are numbered and the doors are numbered, and he has to match the right key to the right door. Also, you can put things in each door. So there have been times where, just for fun, I'll put different objects, and he has to remember what door had what object, and he and I will play with this, and it's fine. But the new way my children have started using it is, my son has engaged in more imaginative play with this little box. He'll bring just different toys that he's got, different Paw Patrol toys and just different characters, and I think that came with little dolls, but my son didn't like those so much, and I've seen him kind of act things out with these toys in this house, and where he has like a different Paw Patrol character live in different sections, because each cubby is a little different and they don't touch each other, so he can pretend. But the other way that they've been using this, so the imaginative play, seeing my son engage in imaginative play has been such a joy, because he's at that age where that needs to happen more and more, and it's something I'm keeping an eye for. When it happens, I'm a happy lady, happy mama. The other way is my kids have been playing with this together. So I'm a stay-at-home mom, so to me, one of the reasons I stay home is to make sure that my children have a good relationship with each other. It's really important to me that my kids have a good relationship with each other, and I see that as partially my responsibility to foster that relationship between the two of them. So whenever they do play well with each other, I tend to encourage it, I reward it, and they have been, when they do play together, it's usually around this house, where my son will try to teach my daughter how to unlock it. They'll work together and trying to work it. Now, my daughter's 18 months old, so she's really kind of dead weight, but my son enjoys talking to her with it. They do imaginative play together, where if let's say he's got his Paw Patrol toys with him, and my son will give her Sky, who's like one of 2 girls in the cast, and then he'll be all the boy characters, and he invites my daughter to play with this house with him, which is his, not hers, and they play together, and getting them to play together is tough because of the age difference between the two of them. They are just shy of 2 years apart, but I encourage it, and I work at it, and when they collaborate together and engage in imaginative play together, I'm so happy with this toy. It's like one of the best, like $12 or $15, whatever it costs, that we have ever spent at Target. To me, we have gotten so much value out of this toy. So I'm very happy with it. I very much recommend this wooden doorbell house from Melissa and Dog. I had to read it because the name is on the back, bottom to the bottom. So that's that. Next is ABC Mouse. So what I've liked about ABC Mouse, and we've had it now for over a year, is my son's. It's not just is your child getting the alphabet and the shapes and the colors from ABC Mouse. There's that learning aspect that very much complements what we're doing in his academic curriculum during homeschool time. But ABC Mouse can captivate his attention for 30 up to about 45 minutes. Having 45 minutes where I don't have to worry about what he's doing and he's out of my hair is amazing. So I can really only count on that being attention grabbing maybe once, twice a week. But I don't really want him on the computer more than that, so I'm happy that it's only about once or twice a week that he is captivated by ABC Mouse. But they're starting to have some bilingual content. In fact, I encourage you, if you are somebody that wants more Spanish or any language, any bilingual content on ABC Mouse, I encourage you to reach out to them and let them know that, hey, I like your bilingual content. Please have more, because it's very much of the minority of the content on there. But whenever we come across something that is bilingual, I definitely play it for him, and he enjoys it. And I'm happy with the subscription, and I couldn't recommend it more. In the month of August, and this is why I thought this was worthy of mentioning in my monthly favorites video, is his eye-hand coordination and has significantly improved this month. I'll talk more about this during our homeschool update video, but he is very much improving in his eye-hand coordination. And what I mean by that is, you have to have decent eye-hand coordination and fine motor skills to be able to accurately move the mouse, push the right button on the mouse, and get the results you want on the screen, because you have to have, like I said, good eye-hand coordination and good fine motor skills. And you have to develop a sophisticated understanding of how the computer works and how the program works. And he has just gotten so much better at navigating ABC Mouse without my assistance, and he's gotten better at just using the mouse. So I'm happy that he is kind of growing in his techie skills, very much in an age-appropriate way, and I don't have to worry about ads or anything kind of getting in the way when he's on ABC Mouse. So I'm happy, and I definitely recommend ABC Mouse. I think you can have, on one subscription, you can have up to 4 children. So, with what we're paying now, we can eventually add my daughter to have her profile and get her on as well. So that's that on ABC Mouse. And the last thing I will say that I have been loving in August is I did watch Defenders when it was dropped on Netflix. Marvel's Defenders is like a team-up show based on Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and Iron Fist. So if you're a comic book nerd like me, you enjoyed it probably as much as I did, and you've probably also already watched it. But if you haven't and you're on the fence, I will say it's worth a watch. So it is shorter, so if you didn't know, the other shows, the standalone shows for each character, are 13 episodes. Defenders is only 8 episodes. So it's much easier to kind of binge and get through. The plot moves a lot faster. There's a lot less, I will say, as a Christian mom, there's a lot less profanity. So I found that delightful, because, sometimes profanity is in there, and I wouldn't say that Netflix or Marvel use profanity excessively, but there's a couple characters that tend to have potty mouths, like Jessica Jones. She has kind of a potty mouth. She doesn't in the show as much, in the team-up show, in Defenders, and there wasn't as much sex. So in a lot of the other standalone shows on Netflix, the Marvel shows, there's not a lot of sex, but there's a lot more sexy time. So in Defenders, really it's just in the first episode, and then sex doesn't come up again, because there aren't enough episodes to kind of get to that. Daredevil and Luke Cage happen to be Christians, and they actually do kind of go out of their way to tell you that in their respective shows. Daredevil was Catholic, and Luke Cage, I think he's Baptist. Or at least he was raised Baptist or some evangelical denomination. And despite having many reasons, his father was a pastor and was committed adultery, and despite having many reasons to not want to be Christian, he is Christian. He's so Christian to the point where he actually refuses to use profanity, and he has a catchphrase. It's instead of, when he wants to use profanity, he says "Sweet Christmas." So I will say there is some value in watching some of these shows with, say, a high schooler that's maybe struggling with his faith, or you just want to have an interesting conversation with your child, or you have a child that's struggling with writing essays. Because if you can watch a show like Defenders and you have like a commentary on it and an analysis of it that you can kind of talk through with your older child, that analysis is the same thing your child has to do for a book report or an essay that they are asked to do in high school level work. So some of the skills are very transferable, and some of the Christian imagery is worth kind of discussing and looking at closely. I think the biggest Christian imagery in Defenders was one of the characters opens another character's Bible, and he's blind, so his Bible's in Braille. And there's something that's not in Braille. It's a bookmark, which I think belonged to his mother, but and it's a bookmark, and at the bottom it's like a quote, and it says Revelations, I think 21:4 or Revelations 22:4. I have to look it up. I keep meaning to look up what that scripture verse because I think it's foreshadowing something very specific. But their faith informs who they are as characters and informs kind of their role in the team and their motivation. And so in that respect, I enjoy it not just as a comic book fan that is now a mother, but also as a mother. I enjoy it as a mother, and as I see the utility in shows like this and kind of helping young people in a non-threatening way, or young people who have kind of lost their way kind of rediscover their Christianity. Now, the other two characters are very much not Christian at all, and they're not like blatant about the Christianity. So if you're not Christian, don't be turned off by what I'm saying. I'm just saying that there are two Christian characters that are in the show, so it's worth checking out. I definitely enjoyed it. I have gotten through all 8 episodes, and it was a good time. I like Sigourney Weaver plays the villain, and while she's not as compelling as, say, Vincent D'Onofrio as the Kingpin in season 1 of Daredevil, she was still pretty cool. Spoiler alert: she has a very unsatisfying death in the show, and please comment below and let me know what you think of that death, because I thought it was really unsatisfying, a very unworthy of Ripley herself to die in that way when she does in the show. I wish she had been developed better the way Kingpin was in Daredevil season 1. So anyway, those are my 6 most used, most loved products for the month of August. If you found this helpful, or you have any questions about any of the products I have mentioned, please comment below. Please give this video a thumbs up, and please follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Thanks for stopping by, everybody. Take care. Bye.